The year was 2018. A chill ran down my spine as I watched Dina Thompson walk free. 19 years she served. 19 years for poisoning her husband, Malcolm Neeson. But something wasn't right. A darkness lingered in her eyes. This wasn't over. This woman, they called her the Black Widow, was just getting started. Now, I've seen a lot of evil in my time. But Dina Thompson, she was different. She was a master manipulator. A woman who could charm your socks off one minute and plot your demise the next. She used love like a weapon, and she was good at it. Deadly good. Her release sent shockwaves. People were scared, and rightfully so. Because Dina Thompson was a predator, and she was back on the hunt. This wasn't just some open and shut case. This was a twisted saga that spanned decades. A tale of deceit, manipulation, and cold-blooded murder. And I'm here to tell you, it gets worse. A lot worse. Let's rewind. Before Malcolm Neeson, there was Brian Thompson, Dina's first husband. They seemed like any other couple, but beneath the surface, a storm brewed. Brian was smitten, blinded by Dina's charms. He had no idea the danger he was in. Dina had a knack for playing the victim. She'd spin tales of abuse, weaving a web of lies. Brian, poor soul, believed her. He had no reason not to. But Dina's lies had a purpose. They were her shield, her weapon. Then Brian vanished. Gone without a trace. Dina, of course, played the grieving widow, but something about her story didn't add up. It was too rehearsed, too calculated. Brian's family suspected foul play. They knew Dina was trouble, but they had no proof. Years passed. Brian was never found. His disappearance remained a mystery. But Dina? She moved on, found herself another unsuspecting target. His name was Malcolm Neeson, and he would pay the ultimate price for falling for Dina's deadly charms. Malcolm was a chef, a kind, gentle soul. He fell head over heels for Dina, saw past her facade, or so he thought. Their relationship was a whirlwind. They married in 1993. Little did Malcolm know, he was signing his own death warrant. Dina, never one to waste time, started plotting. She laced Malcolm's food with a deadly cocktail of drugs. Slowly, insidiously, she poisoned him. Malcolm, oblivious to his impending doom, grew weaker by the day. He thought it was the flu. He had no idea his wife was his executioner. On February 11, 1994, Malcolm died. Dina, predictably, played the grieving widow to perfection. She inherited his money, his house, his life. It was the perfect crime, or so she thought. But Dina underestimated one thing: the tenacity of a mother's love. Malcolm's mother refused to believe her son died naturally. She knew Dina was involved, she could feel it in her bones, and she was right. Section 4. Love and a baseball bat. Now you'd think Dina would lay low after Malcolm, but no, she was just getting started. She had a taste for blood, for money, for freedom. She met her next mark, Richard Thompson, online. Like her previous victims, Richard was smitten. They married in 2000, and for a while things were good. Too good, in fact. Dina, it seemed, was bored. Her dark side yearned for release, and release it found in the most brutal way imaginable. One night, in a fit of rage, Dina attacked Richard with a baseball bat. The attack was so vicious, so savage, Richard barely survived. This time, Dina didn't even try to hide her crime. She claimed self-defense, said Richard was abusive, but no one believed her. This time, the police were watching, and they were starting to connect the dots. They saw a pattern of deceit, violence, and death. A pattern that always led back to one person, Dina Thompson. Section 5. The Detective's Obsession. Detective Sean McDonald caught the case. He was a seasoned investigator, but even he was shocked by Dina's depravity. He knew she was responsible for more than just Richard's assault. He dug into her past, uncovering the suspicious disappearance of Brian Thompson. The pieces were falling into place, forming a grotesque puzzle of manipulation and murder. For over 30 years, McDonald hunted for the truth, driven by an unwavering sense of justice. McDonald's relentless pursuit of justice would eventually pay off, leading to Dina's downfall. Section 6. The Black Widow's Web Unraveled. The evidence against Dina was overwhelming. McDonald had her dead to rights. In 2005, she was convicted of Malcolm's murder and sentenced to life in prison. Justice, it seemed, had finally prevailed. But in 2018, she was released after serving only 19 years. The public was outraged. The police issued a warning, advising men to be wary of Dina Thompson. Dina may be free, but she'll never escape the shadow of her crimes.